It's it's not my job to call out other slots channels for perpetrating myth, providing information which contradicts what they themselves said 30 seconds before, or interviewing a slot tech and then overriding what they said with a prepared statement. The look of shock on the slot tech's face was priceless, and flat out lies at worst and willful ignorance at best. I don't police the internet, much less other slots channels. Today's Professor Slots live stream isn't about specific statements made by other channels that are designed to get them views but not help you. I'm so sorry because that's your job. No, I'm not asking you to correct other slots channels. I don't expect you to police the internet either. uh, Audience members of those other slots channels live in a bubble where they've found what makes them comfortable, and they're told comfortable things. And comfort is a fine thing to have, as the heart wants what the heart wants. We all crave teachers that give us directions, however. But if you want a slots education, then you have to grow a spine if you don't already have one. I appreciate that other slots channels have different priorities than my own business goal, no matter what they might say. Uh, my business goal is to help my audience play slots smarter and leave with their winnings. I recognize that these others are just trying to make a living to provide for their family. And I get in the way of that, which is, take me down. My goodness, sure. But and apparently they think that whoever gets the most views wins, not understanding, no matter the misunderstandings they perpetuate. So there's a lot going on these days. It's called a information gap, where an audience is placed into a bubble where they are told to mistrust the government, academia, the media, and even science. So my having a PhD, that PhD right there is hurts me with that audience, but I'm not for everyone. um, there's this bubble, and why is it there? Well, in the arena of slots, it's best for casinos and those that support casinos and their slot machine providers. It's better if you never listen to anyone else. Just keep on believing whatever makes you comfortable. The crazier, the better, but keep spending money at casinos without bothering to fight back by learning about how to win at slots and take advantage of them. It's just how the world works. Some of you watching this live stream live or the recording later might strenuously object, but then are you really my audience? Best go back and watch other slots channels showing you their wins while seamlessly deleting out long losing streaks, and live vicariously through their wins. I mean, enjoy watching the $100 bills being placed in their hands rather than continuing your slots journey education to have those bills being put into your hands instead, because you can win at slots. One of the major misunderstandings I'm seeing is others trying to tell you what works without understanding that every casino is different. Learn your casino well, I say. But others talk about slots like it's a one size fits all. That it's one size fits all casinos. It's like they are table game players, where card shuffling or dice rolling is physics, which is identical if you're in Montana, Nevada, or Atlantic City. Do this, they say, and you'll win at slots. But that's the talk of a table game player. It's an easy enough difference to make. It's an easy enough difference to explain. If you're an original thinker and willing to stretch outside of the bubble you've been forced into or otherwise allowed to form around you. Everywhere a table game exists, it's the same odds of winning if the table game rules are identical. That's physics. I'm a physicist, 2 college degrees in physics, right there in the window. This but the same can't be said of slots. Yes, it's physics, but it's not. In slots, the rules can change in an instant, and you'll never know. If a table game changes from cards and the next thing you know, the dealer is pushing a pair of dice at you to roll, you'd notice that. But will you notice if the random probability distribution being applied to the RNG has been switched? Well, not unless you're a student of mine. I'm here. I'm not here today to tell you everything I've learned and experienced about slot machines, because just covering the basics would take 30 days. That information is presented to you. Oh, I should start this. I'm trying something new and I got busy talking. So for your viewing pleasure. Um, so I'm not here today to tell you everything I've learned and experienced about slot machines, because just covering the basics would take 30 days. That information is presented in a step-by-step process in my self-led course, 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win, for the moment discounted at $50 off for $47 total, or 3 easy payments of $16.92. And no, I don't withhold information from you. You can get everything that's in that course from my free content. But the course is a convenience, because I'm starting to have a lot of free content. My YouTube channel shows nearly 1,000 videos. For instance, this is my 195th live stream. Yeah. And I've released 190 podcasts. There's actually more live streams once upon a time, back when I was just doing them on Facebook before I started my YouTube channel in 2018, late. But so let's just call it 195th YouTube live streams. I've released 190 podcast episodes. If you've been watching me all along for the last five or more years, you're caught up. But if you've just found my channel, as so many of you are, and are enjoying my content, plus it's helping you win, as you've been commenting about, that's wonderful. Well done, and congratulations on your first hand pays. I was so excited to see those posts, those comments. But imagine how you'd do if you'd learned all my most important concepts, tips, methods, and strategies, as well as dug into your state gaming regulations, basic marketing strategies being used against you by casinos, which you can turn on its head. It's a long topic, as I said. We could talk about this for 30 days. My voice would give out in like 2 hours. And other slots resources. It can be a lot, and you can find it in my free content, but I lay it all out for you succinctly in my course, 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter, which you can see right there in a card above. You'll see the link in the card above. And don't forget the $50 discount, which I'll be showing, which I'll show you in a little bit. So YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, just to continue with our content here. Oh, I also wanted to thank Chuck for his donation of $20.97. Thank you. He's in St. Louis, all bright and sunny. Yeah, it's bright and sunny in Reno here. Thank you, Chuck. Much appreciated. So YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, and its owner, Google, has the largest. If you want to learn about your state, including its gaming regulations, Google your state's name followed by slot machine casino gambling, because I have a website and I'm all over Google's search results. That's called SEO, search engine optimization. It's something I've been working hard on. I've worked hard on those 56 slots articles, starting all the way back in 2017. I published one article a week for 13 months. Then started over after learning myself what each state was doing, because the first one that I did, Alabama, by the time I got to the end, Wyoming, I was just like, I need to add more stuff to the first ones. And then, so I learned as I went. So by the time I got through those 56 states, territories, and the federal district, I needed to, some of the territories are crazy out there, crazy into slots. I needed to start over for the next 13 months and the next 13 months. And again, I'm currently working through those 56 articles a fifth time. One of the latest updates I'm making is plotting out the state slot return data for the 20 US states that provide monthly data. If you like colorful graphs, you'd like those articles too. I'm also making videos of those articles to make those visuals available on YouTube, but unfortunately can't show them within my podcast episodes because that's audio. I do have my podcast episodes on YouTube, but they're also everywhere else, Stitcher and all the many other places you can find your audio. So a picture is worth 1,000 words, as they say, but explaining those graphs on monthly returns by casino or state region is a bit problematic. Sorry, podcast listeners. And if you have a question, check out my shorts library on YouTube. So let's, so I'm going to switch over here to sharing this. Let's try a little better. Okay, yep, here we go. So this is my YouTube channel. And if you were to zoom in here a bit, maybe I can try to do that for you. Yeah, you can see my uploaded videos, and that's a couple of welcomes, demonstration videos. That's what I've been putting up lately. You can go to the shorts channel, the shorts tab, and you can look up your question. If you want an answer to your question, ask it here. But if you want to check to see if somebody else already asks, you can look under the shorts channel tab on my YouTube channel, and you can find hundreds. I think something like over 200 of them. And you can also go under the live. And I used to just put up the last couple of weeks, but now I've got 194 already published, and you can, the one on brain chemistry is particularly nice. So really what I'm doing with these live streams is I'll talk about a topic for about 20 minutes, and then I'll take your questions for up to 2 hours. And sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's an hour and a half, sometimes I'll go all the way to 2 hours. And because my voice starts to give out. So that's what I wanted to share with you there. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Okay. So check out my shorts tab, my shorts library for your question. I've answered over 200 questions in 60 seconds or less, one video at a time. The question is the title of the video. Take a look. One of the great things that I've done, if I do say so myself, is that Google recognizes me as a slots authority because of my work over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I began Professor Slots in 2016, the business itself, but wrote my book, Learning to Win, which is right there, a hardcover. The soft cover is available, and the audiobook is available on Amazon. But if you want a copy of it, it is free PDF with my online course, 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win. Yes. And so I began Professor Slots in 2016, but I wrote that book and in the 2 years prior. And of course, I had my 90 days, my 90 hand pays and 9 months experience in 2013 and 2014, at the end of which I won a car. Yeah, before I won a car, and this is all because of my slots play, because I got so many points in the drawing. I seriously considering writing a book on slots before I won the car. But once I actually won the car, which is quite an experience, I knew I had to. Oh, and those 90 hand pays I mentioned, I won over 50 of them in the first 6 weeks of that 9-month period, and got to 7 stars status within Caesar's Rewards in those 6 weeks. And in anticipation of your question, a question you have the good sense to ask because you're my audience, yes, I did make a profit in those 6 weeks as well as the next year. A 30% profit, down from 50%, which you can achieve because I was testing and experimenting what worked at winning at slots to share with you later what worked. So I sacrificed 20% of my profit. So it dropped to 30%. So this live stream is an opportunity to ask slots questions. I'll start off with a slots topic inspired by your questions from past live streams or comments, questions, and conversations with you. If you have a question, start asking now. The live stream has a 2-hour hard deadline, but will end when you run out of questions today. And also thanks to my many moderators for helping with today's live stream. And please be sure to like this live stream so that we can get attention from the YouTube central server. Yes, they have a central server. So it signals to those central server algorithms that it's like it's your favorite local casino. The more the merrier. And let's see what kind of questions you'd have. Happy Earth Day. Cheryl, yes, happy Earth Day. Wonderful. Yes, and my cat was right here lying down, and she's kind of moved away. So maybe I can take my keyboard and put it back where it normally is. My goodness. Somebody's angry on YouTube with emoticon. That's funny. I guess they don't like being called out. Let's see. What are your questions? Good morning, Miriam. Am I distracting everybody too much by now offering a video and the right there? Ooh, I was flipping around there. Raking bacon. Yeah, please ask your questions. Otherwise, this is the Q&A section of the live stream. And if you have a question, I'll answer it. But if you don't have a question, then we have a question from Jill. Hi, Jill. Question. Do some casinos only let you win the big progressives with bigger bets, even though on the machine it says it can be won at any bet? If the machine says it can be won on any bet in the game rules, which you have to go through, and it can be tough to read. But if you go looking for that, it will say, if it says that, if max bet is needed to win the major progressive, or like, maybe I can share that. I think I can share that. Mega Bucks, for instance, doesn't have that. So let me open that. Not that. I'm trying to open a file to show you a photo. I'm allowed to take pictures at Atlantis Casino. And I have been going around educating myself about high limit slots, and one or other on the Mega Bucks. And let's see here. Should be able to do that. See if I can share that. Yeah. Okay. And I will switch over to adding stop screen and share screen and share this window. So this is Mega Bucks. Okay, come on, you can do this. Yeah, this is Mega Bucks. Maybe I make myself smaller. There we go. So this is Mega Bucks, and if you were to look at the panel right there at the bottom, you cannot win the progressive Mega Bucks if you only bet $1 or $2. You need to bet $3, $5, $10. What's happening with you is, do you see that little note there? Increasing the bet increases the odds of winning the Mega Bucks progressive. So there are, how do I put this? Megabucks is a wide area progressive. It because it drops to as low as $10 million and climbs from there. They used to report in Nevada gaming statistics. They used to report how many machines were in the state that were megabucks, and they took that line item out a couple years ago. And but before they did, it was somewhere around 250 machines. So while you're playing, I mean, you've played a progressive machine where the machine next to it would have the same progressive amount to the penny. Well, if somebody else plays that machine, then both of you, if you both make the same size bet, have an equal chance. But if that other person is making maximum bet and you're making minimum bet, and if they're making a 5 times bigger bet, then you have a 20% chance of winning, and they have an 80% chance of winning because they're making bigger bets. Because the progressive is climbing faster because they're making, like in this bucks example, if you're making a $3 bet and the 213 machines out there and let's say all of them are being played, those people are making $10 bets, or reverse it, they're all making $3 bets and you're making $10 bets, then you have a better chance of winning because it's covering more ground. Maybe that's a way to explain it. I hope that explanation helps. And let's go back to what I was doing before. Okay. And let's see. Miriam says, love the continuing play in the background. Yeah, I'm sorry. It took me I'm thinking about starting at 10 minutes before the live stream and doing a countdown to start the live stream. And this is a 31-minute video. And we're only so far into it, but I forgot to start it when I started speaking. Learn as we go. Learn as we go. And so thank you, Miriam, for saying that. And Dave has a question. Please use hashtag question so I can spot the many questions or the spot questions among the many comments. Do I have better chances of winning the old school slots compared to the new advanced slots? No. It's possible that it's the other way around, but it's not. How do I put? If you understand my concepts, and I think I've seen you before, and so you may. One of the things that's going on is a lot of casinos are putting old school slots, physical real slots, or even the older video slots with the older monitors. You look at them and you go, wow, that's terrible resolution. What is that from 20 years ago? Casinos are putting these old school slots out of the way, putting them back in the back, away from highly visible areas. And that hurts. That will hurt your odds because casinos bring up the odds on machines that are highly visible. Not all of them, just one or two in the casino minimum. I know casinos that do it for every end of row machine. But there are other casinos that are like, well, 3. And there might be a bunch of highly visible machines, but it's only 1 or 2 or 3 of them. Maybe at the entrance, 1, maybe at the elevator or entrance from the parking structure, 1. And so you go find those. And so it's not every old school slot versus every new advanced slots. This is the bad information that is out there. People trying to tell you what works anywhere. And I'm like, does your casino have a parking structure? Does it have elevators, escalator down? Like Pittsburgh, the Rivers, Pittsburgh. How is it laid out? Look around for the landmarks and use that information. To give terrible advice of old school slots do this and new advanced slots do that, it's just, it's not putting you in the right frame of mind to win at slots. Again, my job is not to police the internet. This is if you, I think the easiest of my strategies to use that works at the most number of places is to find a highly visible machine. And now it's only a matter of determining whether that casino that you're at has every end of row machine, which is more visible than the mid row machines. Is it every end of row machine, or is it just those by the entrance, or just one of them by the entrance? Whole row of machines set up to be highly visible at the entrance of the casino, and it's one of them. And it's just at that point, it's a matter of figuring out which one of them. Yeah, you've asked the people have come to this channel, talk to me, ask this question almost word for word. Our physical old machines have better chances than new machines. No, it's not that reason, but that old machines are often placed in non-visible areas, and that's why the odds are lower for those in general. What else can I say about it? Some people seem to have the understanding that the internal electronics of the slot machine that the casino bought, not leased the new one, but it bought one from 15 years ago, that it's the same as it was when it was purchased. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, yes, there's electronics that run the physical reels, and there's electronics that, probably in the player interface that had to be upgraded from the old push buttons to a touch screen. That got upgraded, but the internal mechanism having to do with determining the odds, that was all scraped out. And there's not multiple systems. The one from 20 years ago, the one from 12 years ago, the one from 6 years ago, the one from 2 years ago, and the one that just arrived through the door this week. There's so many new slot machines out there. The casinos don't have multiple systems. They have one system, and the old machines are retrofitted to have the electronics needed to run them. I mean, you don't have to replace the motors to turn the reels, but the rest of it has to be upgraded, so it's on one system, one casino system. And so this misunderstanding that exists, that being perpetuated by other slots channels, I'm just like, dude, is it willful ignorance, or is it just lying? Who can tell? Either way, it's hurting you. Thank you for your question, Dave. Jane has a question. I watch 2 channels plus yours. Okay. I'm picky on news feeds also. Yeah, sure. You should be. I mean, that's the modern life. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I fast forward through slots bonuses since many end up small or zero. Yeah. Well, see, if you understand that the whole point of showing a slots bonus is to because people are so interested. That's why we have so many. The machines have so many more. So often have more bonuses because everybody's asked for them, and the slot machine manufacturers said, sure, we can do that, and casinos said, sure, we can do that, as long as you're not asking for money. I thought, when people asked for more bonus rounds, they thought they were asking for more money, but they didn't specifically state it. It's like coming across a genie and you get 3 wishes. Those wishes can be pretty tricky. I should prepare for a joke there. And I want to thank and you're also looking for bingo card play and progressive max payouts. Thank you for your comment. I don't see a question. Excellent comment, however. And thank you, Magpie11. I think it was John earlier who was saying, good morning, winners. So I was like, Magpie11 would be so proud. Winners have more fun, she says in her super chat. Thank you, Margaret, Magpie11. Next question. So from Serena C, how would you play a substantial amount of free play, say 1,000 which machines, and at the beginning of a casino stay at the end or some other day. I would do what I always do, which is find a good time. I make minimum bets, whether you're using free play or not, minimum bets, and see if this is a good time and if that's a good machine. So 5-spin method is great for that, even when you don't have taste. You make minimum bets on 20 different machines, and a couple of them are going to be, and that's how you learn a new casino. And a couple of those machines are going to be like, that was a fantastic win. I'm going to check that later. And so as you learn your casino, you begin to not do the 5-spin method on minimum bets on all these different machines, because you start to find, you do all the ones at highly visible area to find out which one or two is the winner, or is it the end of every row like at Soaring Eagle, or is it just one or two like at Detroit, MGM Detroit? And so both of which I've been to. In fact, Soaring Eagle is my family's favorite. So I would check to see if it's a good time with minimum bets, 5-spin method, bunch of different machines, if it's a new to you casino. If you are a fan of mine, as I know you are, then and have been for a while, and the cats are just conked out because it's kind of warm in here. I should show you. They're like, but I know you're a fan of the cats. If you know your casino well, then you know when is a good time to go, because when is an important thing. When to go is an important thing. Yeah. But I cannot tell everyone, oh, it's always this day, that time, because your casino, your casino is special, just like every other casino. You are special, just like everybody else. So learn what works at your casino. Yeah, I'd love to be able to just say, oh, this is what you do, because it's, no, that's table game stuff. Table games, if this is the game and you like craps, then you roll dice, and it's the same everywhere except on the moon or in orbit. So if you're on Earth, it's the same rules. Table games are like that. Slots are not. If you look at the state gaming regulations, you can see the differences, sometimes wild differences. Yeah. Okay. And Susan has a question. Okay. Sorry. Question from Susan: would you rather hit big or play for longer with small wins if the outcome has the same? So I'm going to make a change. So, okay, we're going to go back to this. I'll come back to you, Susan. Serenity says, I find split screen video play annoying, just saying, but I wouldn't mind as a lead into the live stream. This is the first time I've tried this, and that sounds like a fine plan as a lead into the live stream. Because I see people are like waiting for the live stream to start, and I want to give them something to watch. So I will take your opinion very seriously, Serenity. Thank you. And I'll probably see it in the analytics as well later. See something. Okay, so would you rather, from Susan, would you rather hit big or play for longer with small wins if the outcome was the same? I mean, I like to be efficient and in and out, but then for people who expect that, okay, that being said, I would like to win big and then leave because I'm done. But if I want to learn the likelihood of that happening, then I would start small. In fact, every time I go to a casino, I start small, just to see how it's going, not to see if I'm lucky today. What is that? As a physicist, I'm like, what is even luck? But to see what the casino is doing to its customers for that machine, that machine, that machine, that machine, instead of wasting my money. I mean, I was talking to somebody yesterday during one of my 15-minute meet and greet chats. It's free. You can book them. It's on my web pages. And uh, I was talking with them, and they were like, I walk in the casino and I'm just my head explodes. It's just like I get crazy. I can't control myself, and I'm like, uh, take your $100, go to the bank beforehand, convert that $100 bill into 20 $5 bills, and put one $5 bill in at a time. Calm down, get used to that environment. I was trying to explain to people that you can, kind of go crazy. But is it you, or is a casino environment designed to do that to you? Brain chemistry and all the things that I've talked about in the past. Sure. Straight up answer, Susan, is I would prefer to win big and get out. But to assess the casino for that time and day, because of the central server and the machines and placement and all of that, what's going on, even if I know the casino, I like to double check that things are as I've figured out. And so I will do minimum bets. Yeah. And my demo videos are of that sort, because I'm trying to teach people, show people, hey, if you win, take in $100 and you go to $300 and you do that again and again and again, it's a pleasant experience for 6 to 10 hours. But me, I'm like, hit it and quit it. I had a $10,000 win and a $4,000 hand pays, and they were about 20 minutes apart. It took about 15, 20 minutes to service each one. And the first one occurred about 10 minutes after I arrived. So by the time I got my second hand pay, it came to me and they paid it out to me. And I had $14,000 in my pocket and quite a bit left of my $2,500 that I walked in with. I was like, I thought I was going to spend the whole day here, but I'm going to leave, obviously. Because, what do I tell people how to get out of the casino with your winnings? Well, consider running, as long as you don't hurt anybody. Track shoes, wear track shoes, get out. Yeah. Mary Ellen says, in Reno, can you give a ballpark percent of how many old school slots you are seeing? There's so few of them. 10%. It's different at different casinos. I don't have the ability to record at Silver Legacy, and there seems to be more of the physical real machines there, but there's also more of the we're used to high resolution televisions. You can see the warts on actors' faces or the skin flaps or whatever you want to call it on rom-coms or whatever it is that you watch, and you can watch a football game and you can see the blades of grass, the individual blades of grass, and golfing. And so you go into a Silver Legacy downtown Reno, and you see this clunky video machine, and it's like, that's blurry. Is that from this century? Is it something that came out in 1999? They still have that display? And then you've got the modern ones, that kind of are curved and they're wide and they fill the screen as you have bonus rounds. And, they're so spectacularly clear that so even the video machines have the old video machines and the new video machines. Yeah. they are being phased out, but I think they've been phased out as much as casinos want them to be phased out, because enough of them still want, enough people want physical real machines. Yeah, yeah, yeah. John says, I got the winning part down. Yep, yep, yep. And I've had live streams on this. Winning is easy. The hard part's getting out with your winnings, and which I say, run. So John says, I got the winning, and John's an old fan. John has been with me for a while. I got the winning part down. Good for you, John. So happy. Just need to fine tune my loss limits. Yeah. Yep. 20% profit is too low. I can't seem to walk up. Ugh. So I ask, when I have paid consultations, I ask this question. People say, I lose. And I say, do you lose? You go in and you just straight up lose? Or do you go in and you win and then you lose it? Because that's two different problems. The first one is we need to teach you how to win. And the second one is we got to get you out of there after your winnings. Straight up answer, as long as you're not in Canada, because they have plastic money, it doesn't work well. Do you have a lockable wallet? I think I can share that here, maybe. Stop screen and offer share screen. Go here. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to share this. And if you go to Professor Slots and you go down to the articles after the welcome video and look at Nevada return to player, let's say, or whatever the most recent one is, and you go over here on the side, this is gambling tools, and there's a couple of different ones. I'll click on the first one, which I like a little better than the other one. And so there you go. Can you see that okay? There we go. And so there's a little slot in the top, and there's a piece of cardboard that you keep, and it pushes the money. You fold the money around it, and then you push it in. And then when you there's a key. Let's see if I can do that. There we come on. Click image to expand. Yep, there we go. And so there's a small key here. And this whole panel right here comes out, and then that's how you take the money out. And you leave the key at home. I don't know if you have one of those. It's not great for high limit players because they tend to have far too much bills to use this, unless you carry like 5 or 6 of them, and then it's just as annoying. So maybe you can, as a quick solution, we could talk about other stuff. I do talk about other stuff in the course and things. Running is an option. Getting one of those lockable wallets is a great idea. That sort of thing. I hope this helps. I'd love for you to be able to. You should be able to get up to 50% profit. Which is extraordinary for doing this. People have come to me with confusion. my old neighbor in Ohio, I've got $100. Let's go to the casino and turn it into $1 million. And I'm like, if you make a 50% profit, which is about outside of playing megabucks and winning 13 million, which people dream of, the odds on that were so low. That's why they stopped posting them. That it was so low, so they stopped posting them on the Nevada state returns. But if you go with $100 and you leave with $150, you're doing well. If you do that time and time again on average, that's what you're looking for. So if you want to go to the casino and you make $1 million, you need to go to the casino with $2 million, win it all back, and an additional $1 million. That's how you win $1 million at the casino. You win $3 million, and $1 million is profit. Hey, man, it's just math. Question: can the casino change pay tables on specific machines over time? I feel especially on Aristocrat machine, pay tables have lower pays now. So if at your casino, can the casino change pay tables? So make sure we understand the terms being used. Pay tables are in the game rules, and if you win a cherry, it's 25 credits. That's not going to be changed because that is set. Now, how often will you win a cherry? That can be changed because that's not something that's posted in the game rules. So be careful using terms that might not apply. So the payout setting can be adjusted. The slot machine manufacturing, everybody knows slot machine manufacturers will provide something like 6 different possible settings. And the casino at Riverwalk casinos, which still use individual slot techs, slot mechanics to open up the machine and change the odds as necessary and close them, because they can't put the wires under the floor because it's not a floor, it's a hull. And if you punch a hole in the floor, you're going to sink the boat. Which is bad. So they can't get central servers because you can't, you have to connect every machine by a wired connection. You can't use Wi-Fi because Wi-Fi can be hacked when the wired connection cannot. So, sorry, getting all technical on you. At every other casino outside of Riverboat casinos, if it is truly a casino and not a convenience store, then they have a central server. They could not convert fast enough. They were just crazy. And again, if you live in a bubble of misinformation, don't worry your pretty little head about it, but why are you still listening? Can the casino change the payout settings over time? Yes. In fact, there's kind of like a myth. Oh no, they can't do that when you sit down at the machine. I'm like, absolutely, they can't do that when you sit down at the machine. They scheduled it last week because they know how a Friday is going to go. A Friday with snow, a Friday with rain, a Friday that's clear and sunny, so less people are there. They know from their own data and their own statistics what they need to do on which machine. Is it highly visible? Is it not highly visible? They make millions. This is where their money goes, to figure out what machine where pays well when. So that's why if you are on a winning machine and the casino removes your winning machine, like they did at Atlantis Casino, there was 2 Huff and More Puff that were facing where everybody waited in line for the buffet, and I'm like winning on those, and then they changed it to Thunder Drums, I guess it was, and I'm like disappointed. But I remembered my own advice, which is it's not the machine, it's the location. Whatever they were doing to that other machine, they're doing to this new machine. If you were to find the machine that had been there someplace else in the casino, if they moved it and didn't remove it, if they didn't get rid of it but moved it somewhere else, you might say, well, this is my winning machine, I'm going to go play it now. And you wonder, what happened? Why is this no longer a winning machine? Because it wasn't the machine, it was location, because they have to sort all that stuff out. So can the casino change pay tables on specific machines over time? Yes, they plan that well in advance. It's on a schedule. They don't. The myth is people seem to really be drawn to, I sat down at the machine and they recognized me and that's why I lost. And I'm like, no. They don't have the time, the personnel to watch for people, facial recognition. If you're into the technology, if you read up on it, it doesn't work. It has to be like an ATM machine, and it's like, it has to be like this. And that's not happening from the cameras in the ceiling at a casino. Succinct and to the point. Jill says, you need a second YouTube channel that's just about your slots, your cats. I know, don't I? I really should. I really should. Yeah, that would be awesome. We could do tricks, and then they would lie there, and I could take them out for a walk, and they would just be like dragging along. You're preaching to the choir. Um, yeah. Cheryl has a loss limit, like to play, win, and go home. Did that last 2 times, went home happy. That's one of the things that I talk about is it's discipline uh, to get yourself out. But one of the things is just do it. Just one time, leave with money, and you'll have a good feeling. And forevermore, the next time you want to leave, remind yourself of that good feeling to encourage yourself to leave. Use it to your benefit. Yeah. Magpie has a question. Does the frequency or size of the bonus balls or frequency of bonus symbols indicate the denomination bet is going to hit? Could this be a pattern people have recognized? I'm thinking of Ocean Magic. This is Ocean Magic. See, there's this like one circumstance or two circumstances in which people say, well, that just applies to everything. And it's like, no, it applies to one or two circumstances. So there are bubbles. You get bubbles. As the longer machine is played and nobody uses the bubbles, more and more bubbles are generated. And for Ocean Magic, those bubbles, all you need to do is press the button to activate those bubbles. Now, this is not a winning strategy until you realize the game rules say the bubbles were earned by the prior player who didn't know there was bubbles. So they've accumulated on somebody else's dime. So if you see Ocean Magic machines and you go looking for them, and a lot of people know this, you go look at them and you say, nobody's played these bubbles, there's a tremendous amount of them, I'm going to play this machine and I'm going to push the button that allows me to get the bubbles, and then I win. And the casino still makes money because they won extra from the prior person who didn't know anything about bubbles. Talking about bubbles today, right? But then the person that you won on that won a lot, but then the casino is still on average making what they normally like to make. So they're all for this. But then you have other machines where people are like, well, this is just like Ocean Magic. You can see on dancing drums that the bucket is filling. Or there's I forget what the name of it is. Let's see. Bao Zhu Zhao Fu, the one with 3 fireworks. Let's see here. Yeah, so the one with the 3 fireworks. Let me share that. It's hard to click all the buttons necessary to get this to show up. Okay, so you get this these 3 different types of bonus spins, ultra spins, double up, extra spins, and you might notice across the bottom here that some of these firecrackers are lit, and then so people seem to think that the longer you play, and see more lit here, the longer you play, the more of these are going to light up, which is not true. You can make it could be like this. You make one bet and 2 of those 3 can just go off. So, is there an advantage play? Is there an advantage play or not? And so you need to look into the game rules to see if that is actually an advantage play. And we clean up things here a little bit. Okay. I think I got that right. I lost all my stuff. Okay, good. That's all right. So your question is very specific to the game theme and whether or not there's an advantage play in effect. A lot of machines people think that applies to, like, dancing drums and the gaming machine that's very popular that I was just showing you. It isn't an advantage play, but on Ocean Magic, it is one, and there are others, Golden Egypt and some others. I have someone working on, like, trying to provide me a list of advantage play machines, but, the biggest thing to worry about there is, so many of those are just, like, people want it to be true, not is it true? Yeah. Spitfire says Georgia skill slots at gas stations. Now, my understanding is that the Georgia skill slots at gas stations, slot machines at gas stations, my understanding is those are illegal. Uh, Now, there's a possibility they are not, because one of the things that's spreading across the country, I know it's not illegal in Tennessee, is uh, uh, gaming machines based on historic horse racing. And people saying Georgia skill slots are like, well, the horse was skillful and the jockey was skillful when they ran the race 50 years ago, of which, 30 prior races were used to determine each individual bet, to which most people reply, what? Georgia has gaming machines in its gas stations. Last I knew, they were not legal, but then Tennessee switched over to legal machines from illegal machines. I've had people call me saying, I know you have a slots channel, but can you help me out with my gas station in Georgia? And where should I go to get these machines? Because even if it's illegal, if there's no crime, if it's civil forfeiture, then they just have to get new machines. But you can make profit enough to pay for a new machine in like 5 hours. And people in Georgia I've talked to have said, they've come to me and they've said it. No, they were illegal, Big Zell, and they may still be, but it's a dynamic slots environment, slots industry, and a lot changes fast. So it was illegal. Is it now illegal? States are doing that to try to get taxes. But I've had people contact me for years saying, the machine had a problem. I won, gave me a receipt. I went to the person at the counter and they said, nope, that's not a winning ticket, or some circumstance of that. And their only recourse is to say, can I talk to the manager tomorrow when he comes in during normal business hours? That's their only option. But not to get too far off afield, your question is, if you are familiar with them, do you find that people win more often stopping the ball instead of letting it roll itself? Stopping the roll. It doesn't make any difference. On all of these machines, on legal or illegal, if the decision is made when you press the bet button, if you stop the roll up, it'll give you the answer immediately. Or you can just wait for it. Either way, makes no difference. The decision was made when you place the bet. Jill says, I really meant the pay table. For instance, a newer version of Buffalo Grand, like a Buffalo Grand Deluxe, seems to pay less for certain symbols. And yes, but your original question, if I remember it, was, does the casino change it while you're playing it? Well, you didn't say that, but I thought you meant I read the game rules, put money in, made a bet, and I noticed that what had been explained as this is now that. And that doesn't happen. So yeah, the thing about Buffalo is there's like lot of versions. There's no more popular game than Wheel of Fortune, and you could go to the IGT.com website for International Gaming Technologies, who owns Wheel of Fortune slot machines, and you can look up under their searchable index how many do they have, and it's something like 500 games. 500 Wheel of Fortune games. But Buffalo is trying to give them a run for their money. And so there's Buffalo this, Buffalo that, Buffalo this, Buffalo that. You probably never even heard of Buffalo Cash, which was popular in one casino that I was going to. And I checked many other casinos and nobody had them, like 50 other casinos. And so it's just like, wow. Jill, thank you. I'm not worried about subscribers. It's actually a vanity metric. I'm worried about, I work on helping people. And if I help one person, help one slots player, that's great. People have, I mean, just to understand the whole slots niche. Brian Christopher, last I checked, had 560,000 subscribers. And he started his channel 18 years ago. If you talk to any YouTuber in some other field, I mean, I might be able to get to 1 million subscribers if I had a YouTube channel about cats. Seriously, I'm thinking about it because the slots niche is tiny. If I help people with my 40, I'm coming up on 44, 45,000, I'm so proud of those individuals. They're looking for answers. They're getting answers. They're winning. And I'm so happy with my audience. Yeah. Robe, hey, it's good to see you again. If I hear slots paying and slot attendants roaming the casino floor, good time to play. Yep. That's not a question. That's a statement. Everybody should listen. Just what I have observed on various casinos in Vegas. Yeah, absolutely. If nobody else is winning, you should not expect to. Duh. Sorry. Yeah, there's an Ocean Magic at Atlantis Reno, Magpie, who says that when I play Ocean Magic, I put in $100 to test the bubble theory. Has proven to be a good system. Yeah, it's well known advantage play. It's more a question of how many other people in the casino know about it. I know that you sometimes go to Las Vegas, but otherwise you might be in California, because we've talked. And if you're in Las Vegas, there's a lot of people from out of town. Right. And so that might be, they might not even be aware of where the Ocean Magic is. It's the slot stalker is a little harder when they're on vacation at a new casino. At your home casino, where a lot of people might know exactly where the Ocean Magic machine is, then you could get hard to get the bubbles because people are just waiting for somebody else to play, and then they jump on it. And we've talked about slot stalkers in the past. Yeah. Thank you for the confirmation, Magpie 11. Yeah, the gaming machines in Georgia can pay out with lottery or gas. That is, in Tennessee, I was told people are in line to play those machines 24/7, 24 hours a day. Thank you, Big Zell, for explaining that Georgia slots at gas stations are still illegal. Some of these states are getting on those things because, hey, we can charge a license and then we get taxes from the business. We get taxes from the person who wins, where all that might be under the radar and they want their taxes. This is something that's happening in Kentucky. Just talk about that region of the country. I was living in Southwest Ohio until a few months ago, and I know about Kentucky. In fact, if you go to my website, let me see if I can bring that up quickly for you. Again, I apologize for the time it takes to find stuff for you. Oops, not that. Don't want to show you that. That's my counting. So let's see here. If I go to and share my screen window, this one here, if you go down to the bottom of my professorslots.com, there's actually 2 links here. I don't want to show them because YouTube might get mad at me, because these are ABC channel 27 in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and also ABC channel 9 in Cincinnati, and their news articles. The first one has video of me being interviewed, and the second one just has quotes from me when I was interviewed. That's the Cincinnati one's a few months ago, but that was asking about, and you can go check it out for yourself. That was asking the Cincinnati one, ABC Channel 9, was asking about, Dan Monk was asking me about the whole Kentucky thing. And one of the things that's happening is they're not getting enough. They think they're not, state legislatures are saying they don't think they're getting enough money for people playing slots, because it's just had this huge expansion in Kentucky. Slots are illegal, but historic horse racing at racetracks and other facilities without racetracks, that's huge, and it's been growing and growing. And the state legislatures looked at what other states near them, Ohio, Indiana, above them, were like. So how much are those state legislatures making from the businesses that have their slot machines, while we have our HHR machines? And they got notified, and they were like, how much? Oh my goodness, we're going to have to start charging more for these sites to have these. What's going on? Why are we not getting paid? And that is something that Kentucky is going through. So yes, Georgia was illegal, but I would suspect that any year now it's going to become legal because the state wants its money. There you go. So yes, okay. That's one of the ways. There's multiple ways to become legal. And one of them is to go through, if you have a state lottery, then you can use those gaming rules to make them legal. If you have racetracks, then you have parimutuel gaming regulations. Then they can use those without even changing them, without getting anything approved, to put in HHR machines. And so a lot of states are doing that. So there's multiple paths to being legal. And one of those is to not be legal. But if it's got a stamp on the side that says Georgia Lottery, and I think I heard that, then yeah, that's one way. If they pay cash, do they get in trouble and shut down? Thanks for your reply. Only if they pay cash do they get. Yeah, right. What's the loophole? And this is why I say, learn your casino, understand your state. One of the things I wanted to share with you was where to go to learn about your state, all those articles that I wrote. If you go to professorslots.com/online resource, and I will show you what that looks like here. Yeah, make that a little bigger. Okay, so professorslots.com/online resource, and this is my 56 articles. 50 states, 5 U.S. territories. Northern Mariana Islands is just crazy for slots. Puerto Rico's not too bad, but then there's also the District of Columbia, but that's only has the lottery. But I go through these every year, one a week, to try to update them to, are they legal? Are they not legal? What's going on? And so feel free to go check that out if you care to. You should know your state, but keeping up, it's a dynamic time. Keeping up is, yeah. Yep. The best response I've ever heard. If you're talking about me, somebody says, where did you read that? And I'm like, college degrees. I figured it out in the last 6 years because I like to know the reason why. And people are like, what? I'm like, what? Oh, Jason's here. And I'll wait just a second. Yeah. Hi, Jason. Thank you for the donation. In his super chat, Jason says, the girls at my bank love the PS deposit bag. Little zipper in the top. It's doesn't have a lock. It doesn't have a lock, and that's available at professorslots.com/merchandise. And thank you. It's not the size of the bankroll, right? Oh, yes. In the past, I've had different quotations on some of these. But thank you for your donation. Is much appreciated. Jason is a fire keepers in tribal casino in Michigan, and we've had lots of exchanges over the years. He does good work. Yeah, well done, Jason. Well done. If I haven't said that recently. Yes, Mike Pye says, good luck, everyone. Technically, April after tax day has been good for me. Margaret's been with me a long time as well, and she has been tracking things for a while. And as she says, you rock, Jason. You guys need to get together. I know you're in different sides of the country, but my goodness. Magpie has been tracking the for more than a year because I have record keeping templates and I encourage their use, and Magpie said okay. And it's been a year, and now she has all kinds of notes because she goes to casinos often, and her records show that April, starting after tax day, is great. And I gotta say, we all know that January through February, March, first part of April, it's kind of like the down season for the whole year for slots. And we're kind of like, yay, we're past it. Yeah. Sorry, Mary Ellen, they're just conked out. It's too warm in here or something. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, okay, that's it. What a great live stream. I'll see you next Saturday at noon Eastern. In the meantime, I highly recommend that you watch this video on how to know if a slot machine is hot or cold. You take care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.